I don't know who's still here in the chat or not. Special shout out to J News TV. Um, Also, I want to take a moment to shout out to single mom as well. Her daughter is in the hospital, so I hope everyone have their prayers. Save the kids is so important because we see youth every day falling as the hands of uh, evil people, bad people, terrible things happen. And the main thing that we focus on is just always thank you, Mitch, as well as save the kids. Shout out to Mitch as well. But we always have to focus on that level of saving the kids because the youth have so much going on. They don't understand what's happening. We build the next 10 years of people. That's how I feel about it. The next 10 years of people, we build that. We build the next generation, and what do people seek to do? What do they seek? What do they seek to become? It's another, important question. I always wonder that myself. It's like, what, what do we want kids to become? Politicians, doctors, law enforcement. What do you want the young people to actually start to partake in? Um, you have too much of people who don't have the access, mind power to understand that we at a certain capacity when it comes to bridging together the gap and grabbing hold of the major arts of the world. When I think about some of the great people of the world, I think of the people who's in the history books. And I always ask myself, well, who's going to be the next person in the history book? How do we get into the history book? How do we understand that type of algorithm? How do we build the youth to want to be history driven? How do we get the kids that's in the hospital out the hospital? How do we get the kids that are hungry to not be hungry anymore? Because the things about what's placed is they take some adult. Hello, Bert. Um, it takes a adult to really be manage over those type of things. Hello, LC. Um, it takes an adult to really be over that type of thing for them to understand that algorithm where they have to have a certain type of mega loud shout out to LC. Um, if we have that type of algorithm where we can understand how a person is going to build an infrastructure for the youth, an infrastructure for the youth to learn because back when I was growing up, it was very important just to be good with your hands. Because you could do any job with your hands. You don't have to have intellect to use your hands to build something. And nowadays we have people who want to be computers. Computers is big now. Then back then it was construction and working on cars. Nowadays it's computer techs and call centers. But equally, all of those things could be done without a person having to open up a tower of education to become a call center person. It's not. I mean, it's a tough job. Overall, every job is tough, but it's not as tough as some of the other jobs, but it's an important job. It's a successful job. Um, I think that's something that we have to look at for the youth is they don't understand what career is. They don't understand what money is. So I think it's really our job to teach them what money is. Um, I think it's our job to teach them what money is. It's our job to let them understand what the next the next fold of what to do. Like a lot of people have asked me that's my age or younger, and let's see, Andy, is it Andy? Andy, I'm gonna say Andy. How are you? I'm very, 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 very happy. How are you doing today? Thank you for asking. Um, some people ask me about like career. One SKB give jacket. Give jacket to who? Elsie. Um, hello, Charlie. Thank you for making it. Um, we have a lot of youth who, um, yes, at AVI. What's that? I don't know how to say that, but AVI. He's correct. Pray for Sarah. That is very important. Yes, that child is definitely in our prayers. Um, if you can post the link to single mom for me for her kids, so everybody can get the link and they can write a prayer or um, just write a nice comment overall. But a lot of people ask me when a youth question comes up, they ask me like, what is the career fold? What do we do for career wise? And that's the thing that people don't understand about kids is when you're growing up, you don't know what you want to be, you don't know what you want to do, you don't know what skills you have. Nobody really told you what skills you have. You just have an idea of what you possibly might want to be. You have an idea, but you don't know. You don't know if that field fits you, if it suits you, if it's good for you. And I always think it's good to get money as young as possible because when you work young, you appreciate the money faster, right? Then you start to understand what work is. You start to understand, oh, this is work, tiring, it's boring, but you get a pay at the end of it. So we need to get kids back into that infrastructure where they can get jobs at 13 and up. Definitely 13 and up. I think kids need to work and for cash, not just some petty $20 here and there, which is not bad for a start, but actual money, actual job. I think kids need that. When I say save the kids, this is what I'm talking about. It's in all areas. It's in every area. It's not in just one area. It's in every area. Um, oh, song, thank you for coming. But it's in all areas. And when we're young and we're building upward, we never want to go back down. I learned that, and that's what always pushed me to go forward, forward, forward. Because I learned that I never want to go back down. I always want to go up, not down. And we got to set the bar where we can appreciate where we're at. Because sometimes we might not appreciate it. We might not appreciate it. Um, a lot of times it's because of the atmosphere we've been on and the things that we've been through. that create that atmosphere. Um, we have to, um, like I said, give that infrastructure back where we used to have programs where it was like kids can actually work and get the real feel of it. Construction field is an amazing field. I did construction. It's an amazing field. Get paid a lot. They teach you not to be afraid of things. You get your hands dirty. It's a great field. Working on cars is important too. If you ever own a car, have a car, you can work on your car, and it's really good. So we need those type of fields and those jobs to be filled in. Roads are always being built. Um, I think it's a great role. It's a great thought process to get into that type of building. Of course, teaching is a great field as well. You can never have enough teachers. You can never have enough cooks. You can never have enough bakers. You can never have enough. Um, the reason I'm talking about these jobs is because they are fields that are more suited for most people. You know, uh, every field of work needs a special kind of person to be able to do it. Elsie, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I see LC at the end of it. I'm guessing last chat. I don't know. You said good luck all. Definitely good luck. I never know who's gonna win. I never know who's gonna win. Um, but when we think about this, I had a young guy come to me, and I like telling this story. It was a younger fella, and he goes, he's not making much in his life. He's not doing very good. He's like, what job do you think I could do? And I looked at him, right, and I said, do your fingers work? He said, yeah. I said, how fast do you move? He said, not that fast. I said, okay. I said, do you have a problem with wearing steel toe boots? He said, no. I said, I got a perfect job for you. Get him on, got him into construction. He said, man, this is the most I ever made in my life. It's the best job ever. So, hoping him realize that this was something that he can do um, was helpful to me. It was helpful because I was able to help him out. And the reason I like this story so much is because he didn't have any skills. He didn't have any personal skills. He was only 17, fresh out of high school, didn't have any skills, didn't have any, he didn't have no knowledge that, you could pick up tools. You can learn construction pretty fast. It's not an easy job. It's a dangerous job, but you can learn it. That's the point. Gen OFW Adventure, live stream or premiere. This is a live stream. But we have, we have, when you think about Save the Kids, you think about the era that we're in. When you think about how many hands that it takes to help, build something. That's how it is with children. It takes many people to 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 successfully build a self-aware child. I think I always say the most important thing for kids is to make sure they always have a voice. I think that's just the most important part when it comes to kids is to make sure that they're always safe, they're protected, and that they have a voice, um, and that they're fed as well. It's very important. Always make sure they're healthy. You see something wrong, you say something. You know, that's important. Always, it's always going to be very important. One second. But definitely, yeah, definitely, good luck to everyone who's participating today for the last chatter. Um, I hope it turns into a real race, a real race for you guys for last chatter. See who wins. Definitely, if you win last chatter, definitely screenshot it, post it. Um, we, I'm happy to be able to. SCO song. Yesterday I could not join the last chatter, my friend, because it was time for my live streaming at 2 p.m. I just shared with them. Now I can't join again. I support you while I have not started yet. Alrighty, old song. Thank you, thank you. God bless Salaha. Um, we we have a very we have a very uh, different spectrum of things. So, we have something that's different as far as we don't have the same expression that we used to give out. Like, I have a story for this when I say expression, for people to understand where I'm going with this. Um, there was a person, a lady and her kid, and this is actually a video on YouTube. It's really amazing. But they would go out to the pond and they would get water and they would, carry the water all the way home. It was like, I don't know, something crazy, 6 miles or something like this. Girl was like 11 years old or something like that, 9 or 11. I think 11, and she was carrying big old jugs of water back home, like 6 miles. And when you watch that and you think about the children that just sit at home, not doing anything, it's like look at this hard work. That's what I mean about expression. Like that is different because you could tell that girl who's carrying the water back home, she was happy to do it. She was happy to do it because it means she would have something to drink, her family would have something to drink. And we have youth, we raising them up and they're not happy to do things. Some young people you can't ask them to do something and they just feel like it's too much to do. So that's where we need to get that expression back where people are grateful and they're thankful and that they appreciate what they have and what they have to do. That's how we build a strong community for our youth and for our kids is by giving them an opportunity to grow in the right way, if that makes sense. You know, knowing hard work is a good thing in the end. Um, Hard work is a good thing. Um, um, I think we lose sight of that sometimes. We lose sight of that. So when I lunch and I say save the kids, and I ask so many of you who visit my channel, who see me post in the community, and I want to thank a lot of people. One of those people is Elsie. Special thank you to Elsie. Special thank you to Mitch. Special thank you to J News TV. Special thank you to Mai Kai uh, for putting the save kids, because the reason I say save the kids is because to me there's nothing more important than that. There's nothing more important in the world than the youth, than the young. Um, if a kid is hurt or dying, do you not feel sad for them? I think if you don't, then you gotta be pretty evil. I'm gonna be honest. If you look at a kid cry and don't feel bad or don't feel sympathy, I kind of feel like you really evil, because I can't look at a kid in pain or suffering and not feel bad. I feel it immediately as soon as I see a child suffering. Um, there's nothing more important than the children. We was all kids ourselves once upon a time, and we're very important because we grew up to now make our stamp in life and do things that we're doing in life or going to do in life. Elsie, as always, thank you. Yes, you can have a jacket. You can have a monitor. I just didn't see that you didn't have it, but always, like I said, thank you, Elsie, thank you. Um, I seen your video, and I appreciate you saying save the kids, because it's so important. People don't really know how important it is. And the thing about it was, I looked at so many people channels, and I never see anything about Jesus Christ. Um, I don't see things about helping the youth or helping kids. Uh, and so that's why I said it's important. I'm gonna start tagging Save the Kids in my videos again, because I used to do it on certain videos, depending on what I was talking about. Like when I did the Safe podcast, if I was talking about a subject that had something to do with the youth, I would tag it in. Um, by tagging in, because it's very important. It's very important. Um, and I just remember at some point, you know, thinking about how do we understand the internet world, the YouTube world, because a lot of channels have to vary from what they do and how they do it. And the one thing I always have been very strong on is you can't silence me. Here on my channel, One SAG, right? It's It's the channel. You can say Jesus Christ as loud as you want. You can say Jesus Christ all day long. You can say God bless you. You can say Jesus' name. You can say God. You can say that on my channel and you don't have to be afraid. You can say that as much as possible. You can say that as much as you want. There's no hate that lives here on my channel. It's only peace and positivity. It's only love here. So when you come to my channel, you can say Jesus Christ. We can have a conversation about God. And the thing about YouTube is they sent me a message today, and it's a good start. It's a good start. It's a very good start. It was a very nice message. It was a very nice message. And the thing about it was is I had a big dispute with YouTube. If you go to my community, you'll see I posted an actual picture where they try to silence me, and it didn't work. You know why? Because what I did is I just dropped the premiere at the same time. So even if they do take away the video, it'd be too late because everyone has seen it. Um, and the reason I did that is because you can't silence me. You can't silence me. You can't silence me. I'll say what I want to say. You can't silence me. I'm going to use the words that I want to use. I'm going to speak the way that I want to speak. And I'm going to say Jesus as much as I want on my channel. I'm going to say, and the thing about it is it's such a joke. It's such a joke and a hoax for some people because they say God, but you don't feel it like here. There's nowhere else, there's no other channel that you can go to that you feel more godliness than here. I'm just being honest. And the reason I say that is because if you look at one of my podcasts, and I do it about the health people, right? About the people, it was about 15,000, was 1,500 nurses walking out. Now, and it was a great podcast. And we talked about some of the most important people walking out. But the thing I had a problem with was it took an oath, and you don't go back on an oath. And it's something that's very important. You must keep it very, very, very sacred. But they didn't, and they walked out. And when you walk out of your oath, you're abandoning something that you made that is supposed to be sealed. Hello, Velma. Velma, hello. Thank you for coming. Mariam Bhutar. Um, when you look at the disgrace, most of the things on YouTube is a very disgrace because they try to divide us. It's try to divide us. They call it trolling. I call it dividing. You have a lot of bad videos, a lot of bad comments. So let me tell you something. The most important thing, I get it all the time. I get worse comments all the time. I just got a weirdo not too long ago. He was saying, he wrote me, he wrote on my thing. He said, he's playing video games. He's playing video games. I laughed so hard. If you go back and you see the game that I have on there, I played with the top players. These guys was 15 and 17 on the leaderboard. Top players. 41,000 views I got for that video. And I destroyed them. I beat them. Plain and simple, I beat them. And let me say something else. Out of 200,000 people, I was fifth place on the leaderboard. Fifth place. I'm proud of what I did on the video game when I did play video games. Unfortunately, I got rid of my system a while ago, because I really got tired of playing games, and playing the video game world just didn't suit me. I did it long enough. It just didn't suit me. Just not for me. But I'll tell you something. There's some great gamers out there. some amazing gamers, and I got to play with the best of them. I got to play with a lot of amazing gamers, people who blew my mind every time I played with them. They were so good at it, and trust me, gamers get paid a lot of money, a lot of money. Um, it's amazing what career you can take in playing games on YouTube or Twitch. I tell a lot of people go to Twitch because YouTube will try to silence you. Twitch won't. They have a very great, very great system there. It's just very hard to use. But I will say this: I was out of 200,000 people in the world. I was fifth place on the leaderboard. That's a big accomplishment. Then when I played, the NBA game, out of 500,000 copies that were sold, that's 500,000 people. I was 99. 99. That's very important. That's very impressive. Maya, tell you. Hello, lovely. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you coming to the live stream. Hello. It was very impressive. Very impressive. I did some of the greatest things on the video game. But yeah, I had this guy. Hello, my friend. Sorry I'm late. I'm just glad you're here, lovely. No need to be sorry. Thank you for coming, my friend. God bless you. Never before, I say this, never before. It was so great because the one thing I did, that no one else did on the gaming system, and this is what I'm gonna say, was look out for the youth. See, when I say the kids, I looked out for the youth. When I was on a video game, anytime I hear them using profanity, I would immediately make them stop. Immediately make them stop. If a kid was on the online game while we was playing, and an adult was using profanity, I would immediately tell him to stop doing so. But this is very important because kids are behind video games and they're learning, and we have to teach them the right way, not the wrong way. We have to teach them the right way. But what's more important, like I said, somebody, I forgot, I think his name was John or some old fake account. He said something that was so stupid. I thought it was stupid. It's like everybody know I came from gaming. Everybody know I came from gaming. Never try to hide it. Like I said, you can look up my one gaming video that I kept on because I deleted a lot of videos, but I still have my one gaming video up, which is, might I add, is my highest video I ever had on my channel, which is 41,000, and I took on, and this game had 1 million players. I took on 15 and 17 on the leaderboard out of 1 million people. 15 and 17. That's pretty low down the tone. That's a pretty high player. That's pretty impressive. These guys was near to close to being in the top 10 greatest players of all time. They 15 and 17, and I fought them and I beat them. Plain and simple, I beat them. 41,000 views. Great, great video. It's a great video. You should watch it. It's a great video. I beat them. It was a great game. And as I said before, out of 200,000 people, I was fifth on the leaderboard. Greatest player to ever play. When I played video games, I was the greatest. I was at the top of my list, not at the bottom. I was at the top of them. If you look at the percentage wise, I was even better than that. But this is what I will say. When it comes to saving the kids, that's another thing to teach kids, is not to be embarrassed, because people will try to shame you People will try to make you embarrassed. People will try to bring you down, try to break you down. People will try to hold things over your head. All I could do is say, walk proudly, stand proud, and never let someone intimidate you. Never let someone break you down. Never let somebody make you feel bad about what you did. What you did it. You can't take it back. Just own it and stand tall. And that's what kids need to learn. Is they they need to learn that. You know, when I say save the kids, this is the teaching moment for the youth. It's never allow somebody to use something against you to control you, because whatever you did, in life, some things are of course worse than others, but you have to own it. Once it's done, you gotta own it. That's all you can do. I mean, what can you can't bury your head in the sand. I wouldn't tell no one to do that. I think kids should stand strong. This will build strong characters, backbone, and it will show people that they don't have to be scared. And as I said, YouTube is great for that, right? Twitch is great for that. The internet is great for that, to teach the youth that you need to be strong. When I saw online bullying, I thought it was, I didn't understand it. I really didn't understand it. Online bullying, because how do you get bullied over the internet? I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a hoax, but it was real. Kids was getting bullied on the internet, and that's why it's more important than ever to teach children to have strength, to be strong, and to not allow things to affect them, um, because then they might end up um, with serious mental problems. And I see a lot of people talk about mental health. This is what I always have to say to that, to mental health, is what if they had this conversation about mental health when they was building the pyramid? I don't think it would ever got built. You imagine how hot it is out there while building a pyramid, and people start talking about mental health. I think it's an illusion. I don't think mental health is as bad as people are saying. Yes, we all get tired. Yes, we all get frustrated. But those are just normal things. God made us strong, not weak. We gotta toughen up. And the reason I'm always talking about being strong, being having a backbone, not being a coward, is because you go through your life being that way so long, you mute yourself. And that's why when you come to my channel, you always hear me say Jesus Christ. You always hear me say God. You always hear me say it as loud as I want. You will see me say things that other people wouldn't dare to say. And the thing about it is, it's factual. It's factual. It's truthful. It's not harmful. It's truthful. And the thing about it,